Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much, Rinpoche, for making the time to speak with parents. Trying to find some conversation around Buddhism and parenting. I just wanted to give a really quick introduction about Middle Way. Middle Way Education was a project of Khyentse Foundation, which was and has continued to receive support from Khyentse Foundation all along. And Rinpoche wanted to just see about developing some curriculum and models of education using Buddhism. So we decided that we needed a school to do the research and development. And so Middle Way Education founded Middle Way School. And so they're two separate organizations, separate from Khyentse Foundation, but guided by Rinpoche. And so this is our first public event, and I'm so grateful, Rinpoche, for all that you've done. And so Rinpoche's been given everyone's questions that were sent in by Friday, and I'll just turn it over. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay, hello everyone, and I hope you guys all not too stressed or not too very I don't know, worried with this whatever is happening at the moment. I myself I've been locked down here almost like 2 months now, and just now I have heard that we are again locked down for 5 weeks. Well, I shouldn't be really saying this, but I kind of like this lockdown thing, but I know there's a lot of people suffering. Anyway, I've received the questions, and I'll try to answer. Some of them maybe, I can incorporate with many other questions so that I don't have to go through all. Some of the questions are very good. I like to actually maybe emphasize a little bit more. Maybe I will even read the questions later. Now, please keep in mind that where I'm staying, things a little bit, behind. So the internet is not so good. Electricity can go off anytime. So all that can happen. And if this happens, I think somebody is recording here. So I think you will receive the recorded version of whatever I'm trying to say. Now, I was, like browsing dictionary. The meaning of education. And one of the definition is the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction. Not so good, is it? And then there's another one. Okay, so then I looked at the definition of teaching. And this is really not so good. I mean, there are a few definitions, but one of this is ideas or principles taught by an authority. Not so good, is it? Then I looked at the definition of school. Train or discipline someone in a particular skill or activity. Yeah. You know, the word discipline is also, so the word discipline is like train oneself or somebody to do something in a controlled and a habitual way. Now, all these definitions are kind of scary, you know. So basically, I think education, you know, educating, schooling is a very precarious thing to do. Sorry. It's yeah, it's a precarious thing to do, isn't it? Educating anyone, actually, and let alone adults like us. Schooling and disciplining and offering education to, you know, people who are quite pure and, you know, uncontaminated, and I don't know, very, yeah, like a blank canvas. And we have to sort of have this, what we're doing, I feel sometimes it's like we have to be careful not to make a mess out of this canvas. It's a very scary to decide what other needs. You know, even though I don't have any, what do you call it, experience in teaching kids, I've sort of been teaching adults. So I have a little experience on this one. It's always a little bit of scary thing to do, you know, to decide what is good for others. Because when we talk about you know, and especially kids, and when we talk about others, we are talking about not like same type, thousands, you know, exactly same type, or like, what do you call it, molded, you know, like factory produced, sort of, you know, like we are talking about all these people who are all like different beings. They have different constituency, they have a different cultural background, they have a different mood, they have a different way of thinking. Yeah, they have different, I don't know, all kinds of different cause and conditions. And especially as a Buddhist myself, we also talk about, you know, not only the different influence and cause and conditions of this life, we are talking about different background and different, I don't know, different habitual patterns, different, I don't know, cause and conditions of the past life. So this is why it's something quite something that we have to be very cautious. And now, especially now, things are moving very fast. Like this year now, right now is 2020. And by the time some of these kids finish, let's say in 20 years, education, so-called education that we human have invented, it will be 2040, isn't it? 2040. Wow. That's going to be a different world, for sure. That's that much we can say. As you all know, the world is moving very fast. Things that used to be a problem are no more a problem. You know, a lot of things, like a lot of things are easy. Like, like how many how many different people from how many different continents we are talking right this moment, So from this way, things have moved fast, things have improved, if you like the word improve. But also, together with this, things have also, I don't know, become more dangerous, more uncertain, more fast. So this also makes me feel sometimes educating anyone, let alone kids, is a big gambling. But having said all of this, I feel that we have no choice, but we need to offer them some sort of a tool and some sort of, I don't know, some sort of a discipline or some sort of, and this is why I was interested in the word discipline, some sort of a discipline or a technique with a good motivation, right? Because we, with a good motivation. So first I want to talk about what is this good motivation? What do we mean by good motivation? Okay, so we have no choice, but we need to offer the education to these people, these human beings, these kids, but with a good motivation. But what do we mean by good motivation? I think, to begin with, this humility is the most important. Everything what I was just telling you, like, is what we are doing really good for them? I think even though it is always going to put us in some sort of a edgy situation and uncertain situation and unsettling situation, I think it's good. I think it's much better than some sort of arrogance and some sort of a pride that, oh, this will work. This is good for them. And I think that's always too dangerous. So that sort of feeling, will it be good? But I hope it's going to be good. That kind of humility. I think that's really important. I think. Then now this is probably because I'm Buddhist, so this is probably the Buddhist talking now. Whatever we offer, technique, skill, knowledge, one way or another, if we can offer them something that will take them closer to the truth of our life, the reality of our life, the truth. Now is the question, the truth. As a Buddhist, one truth is that things are uncertain. Things are, okay, in the classic Buddhist language, impermanent, basically uncertain, changeable. And I think from the very young time, somehow, one way or another, if we can sort of plant this seed in their head, that things are uncertain, we never know. It doesn't have to be always sort of, of course not, many people think that when Buddhists talk about uncertainty or change, Buddhists are bringing some sort of a very pessimistic point of view, but that's not absolutely not true. A lot of good news also. Things can be good, right? So, but I think in our education system, this knowledge that things are changeable, things are, things are not permanent, things are not how you envision, like, it will stay like this, as in insurance, guarantee, all that. I think it will really make a difference even, when you grow up, because we are talking about the next generation earth dwellers, isn't it? So if we can educate our kids with the education based on the truth that things are changeable, I think this will already influence them where they, I don't know, dress, where they eat, where they shop, where they build a house or not build house. I don't know. I think so. I think this is important. And then, now these are all Buddhist information. So this, another truth is that no matter what, we are not going to be satisfied 100%. I think this delusion that this is going to satisfy us 1000%, I think this misleads us a lot. So some sense of, making the young people, everyone actually, and there's some really good questions like about how do we, how about the parents? Don't you think we need a parent sort of training? Very much so, very much so. Actually, I think probably we need much more, right? I think we, the parents, getting training will automatically help them anyway, right? Anyway, that the things are not going to satisfy us as how we plan, how we hope, how we assume, how we expect. Something like, yeah, that information, I think we need to put somewhere there. Then another one, how you assume, I think this is probably a little difficult, but anyway, how we assume, how things appear, how we label, how we project are not necessarily how things really are. This aspect, I think this aspect or this wisdom or this truth somehow needs to be in our, I don't know, when we sing, when we do our meal chant, in our, I don't know, like conversations, storytelling. So this is what we call in Buddhism 3 characters. I think it would, as from a Buddhist point of view, it would be, I would say this would really be a, we were talking about, like, okay, so we have no choice but to educate our younger generation, but we do it with a humility, and we do it with a humility and with good motivation, and the good motivation being trying to take them in closer to the truth, and the truth is what I was just telling you. And then another thing that I wanted to just add is, you can say everything what I just told you, like things are changeable, things are uncertain, things does not really satisfy you completely. You can say all these are narrative, all this is just a story, this is all a religious mumbo jumbo. You can say that. But there's a one thing that is not narrative, there's not a story, there's not a mumbo jumbo, it's not a myth, and that is pure cognizance. We all have mind. The kids have mind. I think it would be good if we sort of bring this subject. I don't know how we will bring it. We can discuss this. I think, sometimes it would be even good, like, do you, to ask, like, do you have mind? It does not necessarily have to get an answer, but just, there's a cognizance, there's a mind. And this is important. Mind is, it is this mind that is wanting this and that, needing this and that, interpreting this and that. Mind is so powerful. So, our education, if we could somehow have a way to manage this mind, if we can have that technique to sort of manage this mind. And then not just the mind, actually, well, of course, the most important is the mind. Then comes the body, of course, taking care of the body, very, very important. And then the mind and the body as a container, contents, then the container, the earth, the world that we live in. It's the earth is like our dwelling place. It's like our bedroom, we cannot make a mess out of this, our place, our dwelling place. So, okay, but I think the most important, managing the mind. So when we are talking about managing the mind, we are talking about, like, okay, mind, the sort of the grandfather or the grandmother of everything. Mind manifests as a, let's say, emotion. So I'm sure we adults have so many wants, needs, fear, hope, irritation, sadness, loneliness. And of course, the kids are also going to have that. They already have that, their own way, of course, their own version, and they're going to go on having this. This is how it is. So how to, sort of managing the emotion of wanting, needing. And when I say managing, not necessarily sort of controlling. I mean, even identifying. If a kid wants a candy, then you can already sort of say, hello, this is called wanting. This wanting, not only you have, other also have. You see, so not only sort of managing your own emotions such as wanting, you also sort of realize, you also, I mean, you also train the kids to realize the other kids, other, not only kids, other insects, butterflies, butterflies and I don't know, birds, your classmates, whoever kids, whoever parents, they all have fear, they all have wants, needs, irritations, loneliness, sadness. And this, acknowledging that you have that and acknowledging that others have that, and it will also change, isn't it? What is going to make you sad this year is not going to make you sad next year. There will be another one. Many times I think, you know, I'm thinking today, this Dharma, like layers and many categories of emotion names that we had to memorize. Sometimes I used to think, what's the point of learning all this? But now actually I think it's quite kind of important for the kids to know there is an emotion called anger, there is an emotion called and yeah, you can even extend it to, you know, like when somebody's happy they smile, when somebody's unhappy they brood, sort of physical reaction to this. I think this kind of a training on, yeah, emotion, having that sort of just awareness of having, I mean, awareness that there is this kind of emotions. I'm not talking about to do. I mean, if you know what well, and then so yeah, and then because of the uncertainty that we were talking earlier, we are going to get hurt. We are going to get happy, of course. You know, we will be more happy. It's just that we are trained and we are educated to notice the unhappiness more. But so we are going to be happy, we are going to be unhappy, and when we are unhappy or happy, how should I put it? I'm not so good with the words. Anyway, I think unhappy, happy, depressed, not depressed, angry, love, everything, whatever. Somehow, not just maintaining, actually. Okay, so we get hurt, we get broken, right? Broken, I guess. And that can happen, of course. That will happen in small scale, small amount, or very, very big. But then teaching them how to recover, like some sort of recover from it, like healing, I guess that's what I'm talking about. Self-healing, sort of recovering. I think the plants, trees, they seem to have this, like, sometimes things gets broken and then they sort of heal themselves, they grow, they sort of, something like this. So these are the things that I was thinking that hopefully, well, I should be also thinking myself, since I'm supposed to be sort of involving in this project, then, or I don't know, Noah, all of us, I think maybe we can spend time on this a little bit. So that's just basically overall sort of my, I don't know, whatever, summary of, I just wanted to say this. Now, to answer some of the questions, I don't think I can, I don't think it's even necessary actually to answer all your questions, because I think some of the things that what I have said already is included responding to your questions. For instance, the questions, the very beginning, right in the beginning, there's a questions about how can we help incorporate Dharma into everyday life of the child? See, this is the thing. For a lot of us Buddhists, we think to practice Dharma is to have some sort of a, prescribed, designed, like sitting, doing prostrations, or burning an incense. Yeah, of course, those things helps, of course. But I think, what I was telling you earlier about sing a song about change, that things can be changed, things changes, like things are not stable, such as my internet right now. Things are, what do you call it? Not necessary. Things are never going to satisfy you, no matter what. That, to have that, to live with this, that's a practice of Dharma, That's actually more of a practice of the Dharma than, burning incense, actually. But of course, I don't want to sort of, I don't want you to sort of do away with, all the rituals, those who are doing it. I mean, kids enjoy them, whatever it takes. Now, there's a question regarding how many kids, a lot of kids also gets this protected sort of education. So I guess the kids don't have the experience of being with, normal sort of the world. Now, this is a very important question, actually. Out of, our zealous sort of very ambitious, parenting, loving, kind parents' mind, sometimes we try to sort of keep our kids away from the reality. Maybe not a good thing. But this is why I was talking about, managing the consciousness, I mean, cognizance, managing your emotions, such as wanting and needing and stuff like that. I think if we can somehow put that in their I don't, even if it is a side thing, then we could go to or them, but fundamental sort of information, well, hopefully could make a difference.
I think we might need to take a pause. I think his internet went out. Rinpoche, you're muted. Oh. Getting lots of. Rinpoche, are you there? Okay, if everyone can just please stand by and Rinpoche will be back in one moment.
Hello, can you?
Yes.
Hello?
We can hear you, Rinpoche. Are you there? We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes. Can you speak? Rinpoche? Yes?
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so And there are, like very many practical questions, such as, parents are vegetarian, should we let the kids to vegetarian? What do we do with the screen, such as movies and iPads and wow. I know these are very important questions. I really don't know how to answer those questions. The only thing that I can tell you is
Hmm. I'm sorry, I think we lost Rinpoche's audio again. I see him there. It's been so clear until now. There you are, Rinpoche. We can see you. We can see you, Rinpoche. I can't hear you yet.
yeah, that's why it's
Ah, there. I can hear you too, Rinpoche.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that this is how it is in this part of the world. So, hey, okay. You can hear me, right?
Yes, Rinpoche.
Okay, good. I know there are a lot of parents who spends a lot of money for the education, and also I think many parents also, especially in Asia, like in China, like too many lessons, too many, like, I don't know, courses. These are very difficult for me to answer because I think you all live in a different situation. Of course, the happiness and the joy and the fun of the kids, I think, is really important for their confidence, because people are saying that more and more the machines are going to take over our job. So I don't know. As I said right at the beginning, what we are studying right now, I mean, many times our education system is sort of designed for some sort of a job, isn't it? But these jobs are disappearing. And as I said right in the beginning, 40 years later, I don't know what kind of world we will be living, and what we know, whether this will even make any sense. But one thing, people are saying that confidence, your mind, who you are, your identity, that's always going to be hovering above you or inside you somewhere, no matter where you live, no matter, you know, what so century you live. So if we spend time and energy, if you invest, as I was suggesting earlier,
Okay, so I think we lost you again, Rinpoche. Are you back? I see you. Perhaps if you went to audio only, it might help, even though we like to see you.
anyway, I was saying that we will never, we don't know. The world is changing very fast. And I'm talking more with you guys. Here where I live, world is not moving that fast. So unless you live here, I think, you know, working with the kids' confidence and identity, you know, identity values, who you are, accepting the truth. I think those things are something that the parents can invest time and energy. I'm sorry, this has, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it hasn't been that, you know, like, you know, like smooth. So my thread of answering your questions also got disrupted a little bit. But anyway, I think I have sort of covered most of your questions during my summary. There are some questions, I guess, come mainly from people who are who don't know about Buddhism, or, you know, there are questions like, maybe Buddhism is related to quantum physics. Yes, but I think it's not just quantum physics. Buddhism, like many of these, what do you call it? The Indian wisdom tradition, it really, yeah, you can say it is like a science. It's really, really, you know, a path to look at your life. Did you hear all of what I've just said?
Yes.
Okay. And I would not just, I would not say Buddhism is just about quantum physics. There is a lot of physics, and there's a lot about mind, and there's a lot about non-duality of mind and the matter. Not an easy question to answer this one. And And this is why I'm just stressing this, because there's one question: isn't it terrifying to think that there's another reality such as ultimate reality? No, because in Buddhism, ultimate reality is just a tool. There is no such thing as the ultimate somewhere waiting out there. Both the relative and ultimate is just a tool for a philosopher or for a thinker. We use this tool to understand the truth that I was talking earlier. Remember that things are changeable, things, you know, no, not a single thing will satisfy you 100%. And especially that how you see, how things, how you project your perceptions is not how it is. So the classic example is like the mirage. Like you see from the distance like a water, but it's not really water, but it has whole appearance of the water. And now these are kind of a very sort of nitty-gritty aspect of the Buddhist philosophy. So I don't know. I can't really answer these big questions within few words and in a short time. But anyway, the Buddhists see life, generally all our life, all our values, like a mirage, like a dream. But you know, again, here, even as I say this, I'm sure some of you may, especially those who are new to the Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist path, you may immediately sort of jump into the conclusion of like, oh, illusion, as if it's not that important, or it's not like, I don't know, it's like, you know, I'm not, you know, so what I'm trying to say is when I say things are like a mirage, things like an illusion, I'm not downgrading anything. Illusion is very powerful. It's like time, right? Like time. What is time? You know, if you really think about a time, it really doesn't have a solid, you know, substance, something that you can actually touch or feel or, you know, piece and keep it with you. But we all know time is, wow, time is one of the biggest dictator in our life. Time is the most powerful. Time is the biggest terror. But at the same time, time is also the biggest healing. So like that, you know, time, space, direction, beginning, and all this are there, they function, they give us hope, they give us fear, but none of them has any solid sort of truly existing thing that which you can, what do you call it, cling on to as a something truly exists. And this is a good question. How are we going from emptiness to actualizing love? That's a really important question, actually, for a Buddhist. Actually, for a Buddhist, in Buddhism, understanding the emptiness is the king or the queen or the supreme of all the love and compassion. The understanding of the shunyata, understanding of the emptiness. The emptiness and the compassion are never separated. I think the word emptiness maybe misleading a lot of people. I think when people hear the word emptiness, they just because the word, the word emptiness, I think it has this connotation of negation, sort of empty. Again, if we come back to our example that we talked earlier, like time, it does not really have anything that is solid. I mean, it has a lot of imputed sort of label, like this is year 2020. We are talking about a time, Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, summer time, winter time. But it does not have a solid entity. At the same time, you cannot really say it's like a void. Now, the Buddhists see every aspect of our life just like that. And the benefit of seeing this is suddenly you are free from a one dimension. See, like for instance, like again, going back to time, if we, the same, okay, if we are having a nice time, like in a coffee shop or somewhere, having a really good time, 1 hour goes fast, quick. But if we are in a prison for 1 hour, an hour takes long time. So, depending on different cause and conditions, but if you know the relativity of the time, you will not be hijacked by this one dimension of, oh, time goes very fast or time is so slow. So I think many of these questions, especially from those who are not Buddhists, they are really, really deep, very important questions. I don't think I can, explain these things very in a short time. And there's a many, I think we can finish it tonight, but I'm sure, one of these days, again, we will meet, or we will, looks like more and more we will be meeting like this. And hopefully next time we will be meeting when I have a better connection, so that I don't have to cut and, sit again. There's one question. Where does the intention fit into karma, cause and effect? Intention itself is a bit like this. Where does the H2O fit in the water, right? What do you call it? H2O, right? Where does H2O fit in the water? H2O is the water. Intention is. Now, this is a very, of course, the Buddhist way of explaining, because karma means action. When you talk about action, you are always talking about the actor, the agent. Without the agent, there's no karma. Now, who is this agent? It is the mind that acts. It is the mind that reaps the result, the fruit. So this is why for Buddhists, karma is like almost synonymous to intention. Whether you call yourself Buddhist or not, awakening journey, so this, the label is not important. And there's still many other questions, but I think we'll end it today here. I think I have tried to covered most of the questions right at the beginning.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
So I hope you guys, you know, take care of yourself. You know, this situation, of course, especially in America, it's really bad. We are all very concerned. We are doing prayers every day. Yeah, so many people are dead, dying, and then a lot of people have the case. So unfortunate. But looking at a brighter side, I think this is also such a good opportunity for us. I mean, I don't know whether we human beings are smart enough to really take this chance to really, I don't know, I'm almost like a junction, isn't it? Like a crossroad. Wow, we could really, I mean, there's so many birds, you know, surrounding my house. Because, you know, the birds are finally finding some sort of peace. Yes? And you may have heard in Delhi, there's blue sky. There are places in near here that they haven't seen the snow mountain where I live for almost like 5 or 6 decades, that they even forgot that there's this snow mountain. And they're seeing it now. They took photographs. So, wow, this is, I mean, I don't know whether we human beings should be smart enough to really change our lifestyle. I hope so. I wish, because, you know, it has been almost 3, 4, 5 months. We are getting some sort of a training to live in a different way. I hope that we can do this. I'm sure we will be free from this COVID-19 situation, but we need to really learn to live properly. I don't know, the next one, disaster, plague. Wow, I don't know. The next one might be so bad that washing hand with a soap is useless. At least we can do this right now. So I don't know. This is just probably wishful thinking, but at least I do prayers, and it would be nice if our leaders talk less about, you know, economy impact after this, because there's many other things that is part of our life, such as clean air. I wish that, you know, as our leaders can actually, I don't know, take this opportunity and take this chance and change the course. And anyway, especially those who live in New York, take care, wash your hand. And I guess you'll have to use moisturizer after this. How come everybody talks about wash hand, but nobody talks about, you know, using moisturizer after it, because washing hand a lot is not so good, is it? Anyway, that's it.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche. I wanted to please, can you make this a regular thing? Maybe once a month, speak with parents. I'm being greedy, but this was really
Okay.
Thank you. I wanted to unmute everybody to say goodbye, but I can't figure it out.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye, Rinpoche. Take care. Say hi to the birds. And
Bye.
to
Thank you. People, have good luck with
Bye-bye.
Hi, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Rinpoche's logged off.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you all for coming. I think it really helps to see your faces for him to, he was familiar faces and some new faces to speak with. So thank you for coming.
That was so beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.